You see, I have known Hubert Angel for, so the time where I met him, I knew him from 2012 from TV, from Miracle TV. Okay, that's where I know Hubert Angel from. But I didn't meet him until 2015 summertime. I think July. He was doing a conference with a guy called Ramson Mumba in Birmingham called Encounter Conference. The reason why I attended that conference was not because I was power hungry or I wanted anything like, material or stuff like. No. I was a youth who was already doing things in the kingdom of God, all right? I was already a leader of a youth movement. And, some of the people who were in that youth movement, probably they're watching, they can attest to that. But Hubert Angel had one guy who was in Ireland, and that guy wanted a branch of Hubert Angel's ministry into Ireland. But that guy didn't have he didn't have what do you call it? He didn't have people. I had people. I had the ability to mobilize people. So when the guy came to me, when he approached me, he looked like he wanted to help with the ministry. He wanted the youth movement to go a certain direction. But there's one thing that we began to notice is when this guy was involved, it's like he was trying to sow division among the people that were in my youth movement. So I'm talking about the people that were in my leadership of that youth movement that I was doing in Ireland, you see. But because, you see, not to brag or anything, I was the center of attraction, all right? So the guy decided to get more closer to me. And I remember he said, guys, we need to go to UK. I'm just going to say in bits because, I want to get to the most important thing. But I want to help some of you get the background of what I'm saying so that you don't seem to be confused. I've done so many live videos so far that it takes you probably a few hours to go through everything. And in those live videos, some of you, they were not clear enough who I'm talking about. But today, you know who exactly that I'm shooting at, okay? And I'm shooting. So the gentleman told us, okay, we're going to go to UK in Birmingham this July because Hubert Angel is doing a encounter conference with Ramson Mumba. Now, remember this time, that's when he had just ran away from Zimbabwe in 2014 with issues of fraud and issues of sex offense. There was a sexual offense that he was running from. And from what I know, the person that was coming after him was not even a church member. It was a relative of his, and this is well known. You can even ask a guy called Eric Afriya who issued a statement, I think in 2017, about why Hubert Angel has left Zimbabwe, but that's not important. But I just want to try to give you a background. So we went to the conference, and some of you, if you check my posts, if you check my page, there is a girl called Dorcas Camel that just tagged me in some of the pictures when I was wearing this gray blazer or whatever with a maroon tie, I think. That was the first day of the conference. And I remember this man came and picked me, and he started prophesying to me. But now I'm looking back into before we even went to that service. The man took us to the office. The man who brought us from Ireland, the man who was driving us from Ireland, he took us to Uber Angels Church. They had this building in Birmingham they were using at that time with these black walls and whatever. It was scary. It looked like it was not even renovated or anything like that. I remember we went there and we met Uber Angel's relative who was also a senior pastor. And we spoke to him. Of course, I didn't know much, but the guy we went with, he knew these people. He was already interacting with them. In fact, that guy was in contact with Joseph Kings, who in that time was Uber Angel's, PA, before this white boy came in place. All right? So when we went there, who knows? Maybe that's when our information got exchanged. But that time I already had my girlfriend. I had my girlfriend from the time I was in school. You understand? When I was finishing my A-levels and stuff like that. And we were already going to the same college with my girlfriend. All right? Guys, I just want to know if you're following, if you're following, please just comment in the comment section so that I know you are following. If you are following, please let me know. Let me know if I'm clear in my sound and if you understand where I'm coming from. Good. See, guys, don't be... Just say following. It's okay? You might not agree, but just see you're following. Yes, so people are following. We're together. Yes, someone asked what was my age at that time. I'm 26 now, so I was just after turning 20, I think. And my girl is 3 years younger than me, so she was 17. She was 17 actually. 17 going 18 or something like that, right? 17, I know it was 17. Yes, 17. But when I came to Birmingham at that time, I didn't come with my girlfriend. Okay? There is an aspect of things which I want to discuss about. How did I know that that was my wife and what. Not because the prophet prophesied. Personally, I already knew. How did I knew? Because I love the girl. You get me? So I didn't need no prophet for that. It was clear enough who I had in my life. This is my high school sweetheart. And the bond was really, really strong and still strong. Okay. So when we're at Uber Angel's office, he wasn't there, obviously, as he plays this hard to see. And I was expecting, maybe he's just going to show up with this car. And at this point, you have so much faith because you're saying, this is the prophet of God, you see. If I see him, God is going to say something. All right? So, I don't know if information exchanged hands between the guy who took us there and the Uber Angel relative, the pastor. I'll say his name, John Dururu. I don't know whether there was information that got exchanged, but I believe, until today, I don't want to believe that something exchanged hands. But it could. I don't know what happened. Because you see, when I went into the service, he came to me and he started prophesying. He said, look, God is calling you to ministry and this and this and that. I see the apostolic, but God, you were praying for the prophetic. Obviously, I wanted the prophetic to be sharp, you know. Who doesn't want the prophetic when you're in ministry, right? And then he said to me, look, we want to do something for you so that when you start a church, you don't start gathering people like, oh, okay, let's gather here, let's do a church, you know, we want to help you. That's what he said. And then he said, remember, this is a conversation that is happening between me and him. It's not on the microphone. And I remember he held my hand and then he said, Simba, 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 which means in my language means power, right? So I got intrigued by that. I was like, wait, the guy, does he know that I was born, I'm from Zimbabwe originally? How did he know? Right? The next thing he said, consider yourself single because the person you marry matters, you see. The person you marry matters, you see. You don't want a woman that doesn't understand where you are going. I mean, for me, that was a very hard thing to hear because, you see, when you love a girl to a point where, I mean, you don't want to hear anything that contradicts anything. I was like, no, I understand. You see, I understand that the girl might be raised in Europe and all these other things. And maybe she's not even, my girl was not from a house where they go to these churches. You understand? I mean, they believe in God, but not like, you know, like radical, how you people do church, you know, like you people 9 to 9, you know, they love God, good people. But for me, I was like, okay, maybe, so is she not the right partner for ministry? But I mean, this is my girl, man. What do I do? He said, consider yourself single. And he said, I'll talk to you tomorrow. He said, I'll talk to you tomorrow. He left me. The next day, he came back with a microphone. And he said, oh, come forward. He just made me stand there in front. You know how they do? They just make you stand there. And I remember people saying, oh, he looks like you. He looks like you. He looks like you. And then he asked me, what's your name? All right. So I said my real name, my Zimbabwe name, the one which is still on my passport. All right. I said, this is my name. He said, no. But why is God showing me an M? I changed my name to Ashton Major. Because at that time when I was leading my charismatic movement, I was already calling myself Major. You know, I mean, come on. You all do it, you know, don't judge me. You see? So, but, you know, funny enough that was on Facebook, you know. If you look at my Facebook page back then, it was already there. The major, this and that was already there, you see. So, to me at first, I was like, is he missing prophecy or what? Is he missing prophecy or what's going on? But the problem is that what confused me is that he mentioned the dreams that I had. Okay? He mentioned the dreams that I had. But remember, I shared these dreams with the bishop that I came with from Ireland. Guys, I want you to follow up. Please, follow up. So I shared these dreams with the guy that I came with from Ireland. So I do not know. In those same dreams that I shared with him, same dreams that this guy spoke about, you see. So the next day he came back. He was like, go and tell Kimberly that God is approved because I saw her praying. So my friends were jumping around. Those who were at the Encounter conference in Birmingham know what I'm talking about. Everyone was jumping around, jumping on me like, wow. Even myself, I was like, wow, the guy picked my girl by name. This is dope. And the next thing that happens, You Better Angels protocol called Washington came to me direct after that. It's like, you see, your friends are jealous of you. Immediately. Your friends are jealous of you. You know, you need to guide this thing and follow what Papa says. They already started the divide and rule. Remember, these are the people that I started the youth movement with. Now I'm being told that your friends are bad. They are after you. They are jealous of you. Me, I'm like, yeah, maybe it makes sense because, look, the whole conference looks like it's all about me. Because I remember that conference, he didn't even prophesy much to any other person. It looked like it was just me he was on. So that day, I even said, no, I will not talk to my girl until I return to Ireland. You understand? But I believe she was watching, or someone sent a link. I didn't. I said I will not talk to her until I return, you know. Maybe someone did. I think someone did, because I went to see her after, and she said, yeah, I was watching, I saw it, whatever it was. Moving forward, the last day of the conference, was, I think, a Saturday. Okay? We went for go-karting, you know, these racing cars, what. Listen, at that moment, I was too spiritual. You know me, I was there to collect grace. Trust me, I was not interested in this go-karting, this and this and this. And I remember, and I have the picture, I remember sitting next to Beverly Angel, and she asked me a question. She was like, oh, so if the prophet finished talking to you? I said, yeah, but he said you will speak to me more. She was like, okay. So what's your plan? I said, I know what, I don't mind, and I think my plan is to be under you guys until I know what I'm doing, and then I'll go and I start my own ministry. She was like, oh, okay. She didn't say much. She was, oh, okay. And then I was like, can we take a picture? She was like, yeah, sure. And then we took a picture. And I think that's the only picture I ever took with her. And I think it's somewhere on my page or whatever, you know. I took a picture, young Ashton, very naive. And, you know, I stepped back and I allowed some of my friends to come and take pictures as well. You know, remember, this is the Irish team, you know, the Irish. These guys are already seeing a branch in these people, you see. So obviously, they had to give some attention. The next thing, we went for to his church now, because where the conference was happening was not his church. It was Ramson Mumba's church. So on Sunday, they had a big day Sunday at that building that we first arrived at, okay, when we went to Birmingham, where I saw Pastor Dururu. We went to the big church day. I saw Ricky was still a music pastor, what. And, you know, we were given first, someone said, I say, how you're glowing. I love seeing it. Thank you. I mean, I'm learning from you. So I remember we're given the front seat, what. And I mean, this is exciting. Like, wow, life is changing. To me, I'm like, wow, you know, I'm connected to a general. And trust me, I had love for this man. Love. When I talk about, if I ever loved a man, and if there was a man that was not ashamed to tell I love, you know what I mean? It's hard for a man to tell another man you love them, even if you do. If there is a man that I can tell you that I loved, it's that guy. And it's nothing to do with his gifting or whatever. I just loved him, you know. I loved the man. So I'm like, wait, hold on. This is favor. Life is changing. Life is moving fast. And I'm already seeing myself with ministry flowing on a different dimension. I'm like, now, the Apostle Ashton, hey, he's about to come with fire. That's how I was seeing myself, you know. That day, he preached a message to do with what? He was talking a message about, he was preaching from the book of Songs of Solomon about a girl that had reached a mature level, like she had matured to the age where she was supposed to show the signs of maturity, but she still didn't have breast, and the brothers were worried or what. That's the message he was preaching that day. But then, you know, he always changed this message. So he preaches something like that and then turn it into a message or whatever, how it's like he was saying that, or some of you have gotten to this stage where your prosperity has to show, but, you know, and now your brothers are worried, it's like everyone around. So me, I'm like, wow, this man is controversial. Trust me, I love the bit of controversy because me, myself, I'm not a person who likes normal things, you understand? Like, I like being myself, you see. I like being myself. I'm not saying that being extremist, no. I'm just talking about I like being myself. You know, everyone is different. They have a unique way of doing things. I love the style. I'm looking at him, and I remember we took a picture together in the car park, and I have that picture. You know, to me, this is why I keep pictures, because they take me in the memory lane. I can relate to a certain time by looking at a picture. So that, and I remember he's the one say, "Oh, let's take a picture." What. So we took a picture after the service, and then he was like, "Oh, son, we'll see you. Bye." He was a man of few words. He wouldn't talk to you like, you know, a lot of things. No. He was just like, I mean, even for you to hear him talk, you'd be like, hey. So, you know, he was a man of very few words. He didn't like to speak. I don't know, maybe that's part of him grooming people, or to make himself feel like, you know, the prophet doesn't talk much, you know, this. Are you guys following? Please. Are you following? So we went back to Ireland, and because the man in that brought us there was already in contact with Joseph Kings, who happened to be the PA then. We were invited to Hubert Angel's house. He said he wants to see me, and he wants to see the other guy. All right? So we're talking about, this is what, July. So we came back in August. That's before he moved to the house that he currently lives. He was living in Newark. We went there. But before we went there, actually, we went to Manchester, where Joseph Kings was living, because we didn't know exactly where the prophet lives. So we had to come from where Joseph King's house was. So we drove from Ireland into Manchester. And we had the cars. Obviously, we had to use those ferries, those ships where you put your cars in, like a hotel, whatever it is, you know. Nice experience, because to me, I love road trips. So I was like, okay. So we drove all the way from Wales, okay, Northern Ireland. Is it Northern Ireland? I don't know. Wales, yeah. To Manchester, where Joseph Kings live. And then Joseph Kings took us to the prophet's house. Listen, when I say a prophet, doesn't mean I believe he's a prophet now, okay? I'm just saying how I believed in that time, okay? How I related in that time. So we went to the house. You know, We arrived there and we sat with Joseph Kings outside. You know, Joseph King said a very funny statement that even myself, I was like, this guy, is he really with you, Bet Angel, or what? But it's like he wanted to incite something for us to see something. He wanted to talk, he wanted to say the wages of sin are death. So he wanted to start telling, so Hubert Angel he doesn't come out of his room or whatever. At that time, he was living like it's like a farmhouse or whatever. So he had his own section where there is a bedroom. It's like a big bedroom, like it's in his yard. And then he had another section of the house where he also had his private living room and then a public, when I say public, I mean that's for the whole family and whatever, in other rooms that the people in the house uses. So I remember I was tired. Remember, you traveled all the way from Ireland into UK by road. All right, that's about 14-hour, 16-hour journey that we did. All right, I was tired. I remember I just went into his sitting room, living room, the ones for everyone. I sat in there, and then I slept sitting there. But I was even scared, you know, like, oh, why am I sleeping? This guy doesn't even know me like that. And I slept sitting there. And the other pastor that I came with, he went to drop Joseph King's back, you know, so it was just me left. He went to drop him at the train station, so it was me that was left in the house. So Hubert Angel's children, they were just around, they came in, and, you know, I just interacted with the kids, and, you know, I mean, they were all still young at the time, I think, you see. Within a few minutes, I see this tall gentleman walking from the other part of the house where he was. And then he just looked at me. He didn't say hello, nothing. He just said, son, come. And then I followed. I'm like, oh, my father just called me son. Damn it. And they had Miracle TV studio in the house at that time. So he said, come. So I followed him. We just went in the studio briefly, and then I saw him shouting at these guys. I see these guys, their veins coming through. Me, I'm like, yeah. This is actually dangerous. This is dangerous. This man can shout, eh? And I don't think I will be able. Now I'm scared. If I say something stupid, he might shout at me as well. So the guy just went straight to the car. He was driving this Mercedes Benz, I think S-Class or whatever, in red. So he was just like, he just went, open the door, get in the car, turn on the engine, and then reverse it. He says, son, come. And then I followed. I'm like, wow, the prophet is driving me. Man, I'm special. Understand this. And the reason why I'm saying this to you guys, I want you to understand how these people operate. Okay? So he took me for a ride. So I remember that time I was like, oh, do you know Brian Khan? He just ring Brian Khan. He's like, yo, Brian Khan, it is Major here. How are you doing? Ha, 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 ha. Me, I was like, hey. I was like, do you know this person? You call that person. I said, do you know that person? You call that person. I was like, what? And then he started showing me, oh, my kids go to school here. This is the house I want to buy. Right now I have 600 properties. What? And if I want to be honest with you, I do not doubt that he possibly has. I don't know. You see, I don't know. That's not my focus. You see, I mean, he has so many qualities that you could see in him that you would desire. Nothing to do with money, just him as a person. To me, I was like, you know what? This guy, is it the same guy people were writing in newspapers? I mean, come on. It can't be. You see, so he was erasing every negative thing that I ever had in me left about him. Because remember, we're just getting to know each other. So I'm like, okay, this guy must be something, you know, people must be missing something on this guy. So we went for a drive and he told me, oh, look, this is where I come here when I'm speaking in tongues, what. This. So me, I'm actually taking this as notes, like, okay, this, you know. And I remember we got back to the house. He parked the car in front of the gate, waiting for the gate to open. And then he looked at me, he said, son, you need to be careful. Then I'll look at him and say, okay. And he said to me, I saw women throwing themselves at your feet. And then I remember saying to him, in the name of Jesus, never, it will not happen. And then he just, you know how he looks at people with that eye like this? He just looked at me and then he just drove the car into the thing. And then he invited me to his private lunch. And I remember I was on my phone, you know, my little iPhone that time, like playing with my phone. And then he said, no one is allowed to be on the phone except me. I want to hear you guys talking. So remember, when you sit with this guy, you are thinking that he is scanning you, everything about you is scanning you, what. And then that's when he repeated the thing to do with women or whatever he mentioned. He mentioned something like, but he mentioned in a different way. He said, I don't want you to do the same mistakes that I've done. All right? Guys, imagine when someone is telling you things like this. This is your first time sitting with them properly. Man, they win your heart. The man won my heart that day. I was like, why is he so confident with me? But to be frank with you, you better angel had every reason. He had every reason to be confident with me. Trust me. Not one of the things that he ever said, even some of things I have never shared with anybody. Not one. He had because you see, there are people you can tell like this person just loves me. And I was one of those people. And I also believed it was the same with him. And I remember him looking at this other guy I came with, that pastor. And then he said, the problem with young guys like you worry too much about integrity. But he's telling an old man, old enough to be his father, that you worry, young men like you worry about integrity. And then I was like, wow, he speaks with so much boldness, with so much authority. This is how it starts. I went back to Ireland. I started a branch for him, okay? And I was okay with it. In fact, I didn't want to start that branch as under his name. I wanted to start it as my own church. And the guy in Ghana called Eric Afria was telling me, Ashton, please don't go under Hubert Angel. You can have him as your mentor if you like, but don't go under his church. Don't go under his church. And I didn't listen. You know, I was like, maybe this guy is trying to be jealous, you know. I didn't listen. It didn't take months, and this guy started showing their colors. Now he started texting women in my church, in my branch, like this. He's taking their numbers. At this point, I don't even know. We're talking about, now this is 2016. This is 2016. And I don't know, he fired, or that PA, Joseph Kings, was not there with him anymore. So the white boy was now there. The white boy hated me so much for no reason. Trust me. No, there was a reason. I don't know what Hubert Angel was telling him, but that guy was texting people in the church like this, dividing the church, dividing the church, dividing the church, until I just gave up the branch. I gave up the branch. I sat down. 2016, I got engaged 2016 in April. Okay. When I got engaged 2016 April, remember, I have not taken my girl to him yet. 26 April, 2016 April, I got engaged, right? No, actually March going April, yes. March going April. I got engaged and things are moving good. So now I'm not ministering in church anymore. I'm just sitting down. I'm just whatever. These guys are on rampage. It's a story for another day. We need to cover much ground, okay? Whatever they are doing, I'm just sitting there. And I remember 2016, in about July or so, all right? I went with my girl to Birmingham. Yes, in Birmingham. And I remember that time he even came and then he prayed for us and what. Nothing happened. We went back. We flew to Ireland, I think, if not the same day, all right? Flew back to Ireland the same Sunday. Went back. 2016, in October, November, and I have the exact dates, yes. He texted me a message and I was sitting with one of my friends, in the house. And then he texted me a message. He said, oh, the reason why you are not proceeding, you are not moving forward is because of your pride. It's because of your pride. You don't submit enough. You don't submit enough. You don't submit enough. And I remember crying because I was like, God, you know I love this guy. But to be honest with you, I don't know what exactly is he talking about. I took a picture of myself crying. I took a picture of myself crying. I sent it to him. I said to him, oh, I want my life to go the right direction. You tell me what exactly am I not doing? What exactly am I not doing? Tell me what to do. And then when he saw my picture of me crying, I was like, okay, we are cool. Don't worry. Go and apologize to Lee. I was like, apologize for what? He accused me of starting a prayer line somewhere where people are coming and they're paying seeds on a prayer line. That was never true. He accused me of me giving false prophecies to people. That was not true. I know I'm gifted, and when God ministers something to me, it was always accurate. I mean, anyone that I ever ministered to is true. It has happened. But I was not even doing this thing of like, oh, now your address is like this. No, like the word of knowledge. When God gives you a word of knowledge, you understand. I was deep in the things of the Spirit. But I was not even doing that either way. I was just there quiet. He silenced me, isn't it? Right? And then 2016 December, he says to me, I tried to cross the Irish Sea without papers. I had the Irish papers, but I didn't have the UK visa, all right, in 2016. So I was detained and I was deported back into Ireland. And I was told my girl had to go forward. And I was like, okay, here's the money. Go and give Papa, on my behalf, this and that, and this and that, and that, and that. I said, okay, cool. I returned. And then I texted him. I was even crying. I was a cry baby, honestly. I took a picture again and sent it to him. I said, look, I'm crying. He said, oh, this was your time. That's all he said. Never said anything. This was your time. I said, oh, trust me, I found my way into UK. I did find my way into UK. I organized how I organized things. Immediately, I was offered the chance to get in. I got in, and and I remember that time. What happened? I went to. So this is Yeah, I remember I told my girl to go into London because I wanted her to pick me the best outfit, what, some Jimmy Choo shoes and what. Yeah, so I came from Birmingham and then I went all the way uh to Kent where my friends were living, okay? Because whenever I was in UK, I would always come to my friend's place, you see. So I went to my friends, I met my so I went to that place. We proceeded to the conference, the New Year's crossover into 20. We're looking at 20 what now? 20 crossover into 2017. Okay. He saw me when he was signing books and he came and hugged me. He said, "Wow, son, you look good. You look amazing." I remember even Titus saw me and he was like, "Oh, this Jimmy Choo, are they even real?" He said, "Jimmy Choo, are they even real?" I was like, "Oh, okay." But at least he acknowledges. That time, they even put me on the back of the church because he wanted me to feel like I was not submissive enough. He was still not happy, but he still just accommodated me as a son. So, okay, fine. 2017, in February, I came to UK. I just came for like 2 months into UK. When I got here, I remember when we got to March, end of March, I saw him in Birmingham, and then he said to me, I want to meet you in London. All right, I'm going to organize." I was like, okay, cool. He said, "No problem." The next thing he did, he reached out to me. He was like, "Son, can I test your wife?" Hey, look, the girl was not even my wife. She was my fiance. "Can I test your wife?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" In my head, I'm not thinking of it the way that now all of you would think of it. No, I'm thinking it because remember I prophesied about this girl ministry and what. So I'm thinking maybe it's along those lines. Can I test your wife? Guys, I want to see if you're following. Okay. Well, my story is... Okay. Can I test your wife? And then I gave him the number. My wife was not there with me. My fiance was not there with me. Okay. He was not there with me. She was in Ireland because she was working at that time. Okay. She was working at that time. So he reached to her and then he's asking her questions like this, which I later on found out now. Okay. That I later on found out. I didn't know then. He asked her a question like, "Oh, if I tell you to come and see me, would you come and see me?" So like, "Yeah, you're my spiritual father and me and Ashton will come and see you." He was like, no, I'm not talking about Ashton. "But would you come and see me?" She was like, no, I would have to ask Ashton first. Right? And then he was like, "Oh, would you sleep with me?" And she said to him, "No, I won't do that because I love Ashton and you are my spiritual father and you are married and it's just not a thing that I'll find myself doing." Do you know what? The next thing was like, okay, you passed the test. I was just trying to see. So he came back to me and he told the girl like, don't mention to Ashton. It's just, in between us. I was trying to test you. Understand, this is a young girl. She's naive. She's at this point, I think she only turned 18. You understand? She's 18 years old, naive. She doesn't know these things, whatever it is. The man come back to me, it's like, oh, the girl loves you, son. I'm very happy. I'm very happy. I'm very happy. I was like, oh, thank you, Papa. I didn't want to ask any questions. Thank you, Papa. He was like, oh, so when is your girl coming here? I was like, oh, I don't know, but maybe she will come in around May. Okay. I'm going back to Ireland, but I think we'll come back in May. It's like, okay, that's good, son. So what's your plans? You want to move here? So I was like, yeah, I want to move here. It's like, yeah, you see, this is good because at least I can mentor you very closely. You know, I can mentor you at a close range. I can see what you're doing and, you know, how you're succeeding in business and things like that. And then that was it. So in May of 2017, Anton Joshua was fighting Klitschko, and that's how I remember the day. And my fiance happened to be in town. Man, I love my girl. You see, when she's around, I'm like, yeah, you know, I mean, not because we met in church, because we were friends. We are friends. You know, so to me, I was like, you know what? I'm happy. I'm excited. Somehow the men could see, because now I understand that he goes through social media and stuff like that. He does follow up people's pages, you see. And then he texted me a message, said, can I see you in London today? I was like, what? Major is calling me to London. He said, yeah, can I meet you in London? I said, okay. He said my arrival time is 2 p.m. or something like that. I said, okay. Since I was with my brother, I said, you guys, you're the ones driving. You can drive. We can just go together, you see. Let's go. My brother, his wife, the child, myself, and my fiance, because at this point we don't have a kid. We just, you know. So we went there. And I remember we met him in central London, you see. So he started taking us around, no bodyguard, nothing, you know. London is a free place, come on. So we're moving around, just him and his child, the firstborn son of his, you know. Moving around, showing us expensive things. We're like, wow. You see. We're like, wow, amazing. This is it. This is it. I mean, this is grace. And we're moving around, you know, we're holding his suits, you know, whenever he wants to try shoes, you'll be holding a box. I mean, it's so exciting to be sent around with that guy. You're like, hey. And after that, he said, son, can you go and across Harrods and ask if they have spaces, a space or a booking that we can get for us to eat, you know. So I said, oh, okay. So when we went there, finally, I saw his son bringing out man out of the backpack, you know. And then the son gave him money, and he said, oh, Papa, I want to start making more money. So to me, believing in this principle of sowing, which almost every one of you do, I took all the money we had with my fiance. I said, listen, if that guy can do it, I think we have to do it even more. Let's give everything. I gave everything that I had. Right? I gave everything that I had to him. And then when we're ordering food, I just said to my fiance, you know, just do the usual. So he looked at me like, what usual? And I was laughing. I was like, yeah, she knows what I eat, you know, so that's what I mean. And then he was like, oh, okay. And then he just continued on his phone. And then he said, oh, guys, can you ask Bevan? Ask Bevan. Bevan is a guy in the media team that moves around with him. ask Bevan, can we meet? Can you come to my hotel? What? So we got the address of the hotel. We got in our car. We followed, nice hotel in Kensington, in London. Very beautiful hotel. We were sitting there waiting for him to call. Took about an hour, and then Bevan came to me. Is like, the big man is saying that he wants to see you. Come upstairs. So he took me with him. I was given the special seat. I was given the special seat, a rocking chair. He opened the fridge. He poured a drink for me. Me, I'm like, man, I've seen favor. This man loves me, This man loves me so much. All right? Guys, I'm praying that this broadcast won't be interrupted by anything. Just pray. Pray. Please, pray. And then we watch boxing. I'm like, wait, I'm watching boxing with the prophet. I'm actually want to ask him, so who's winning? He's not answering. He's not answering. It's just they're quiet, It's just answering. We watch boxing. The next thing he goes on the phone with Bushiri. They are talking about private jets, this millions, that millions on the phone. All right? Yeah, I'm like, why is he feeling so comfortable talking to me about this? They're even talking about some scandals like, yeah, that one, he messed up. They caught him red-handed. Now he's asking me what to do, whoever they were talking about. Me, I'm like, hey, I'm hearing these things. Wow. That means I'm trusted, I'm trusted. There's something upon my life. We spend about 1 hour and something in there, just me and him. Because got a time where I was talking about business and I was telling him, I just made an investment for 45,000 euros, and I didn't know whether that money is still in that place where I place it or I'm being duped, Yes, and then he just said to me, son, these things are dangerous. What? And then he started telling me how he started Brits Bank and all this and whatever he was talking about. And I said, okay. And some tips, I said, you know what? I think, I can take this. And he said to me, if you bring me a certain amount of money that I can't say, bring me a certain amount of money, I'll connect you to people who does the loan business, what. All right? And then you'll be able to do that because Ronnie does the same thing. I was like, okay. I'll organize the money and then I'll put it across to you. Good. I looked at him. I said, say you look tired. I think because it's church tomorrow, I should leave you because we have to drive for 1 hour and 20 minutes and we have to be back tomorrow. And my friends have a child. So I wouldn't want them to have a very stressful day. Now that I have kids, I understand I can't even go out away with these kids for like, 1 hour, 20 minutes. You understand? I mean, it's frustrating, They can be good, but kids can throw tantrums at any time. So I said, no, we don't want that. So when I leave you, he said, on your way out, can you call Bevan to come in? Right? Bevan came back in. He said, oh, Papa said you want to see your fiance quickly. Right? I'm happily, my father want to see my fiance. This is grace. Right? My fiance goes with Bevan. It's safe because Bevan is there. But in reality, Bevan is not there. Bevan goes to the door and then is told to go away. Or he's standing at the door, outside the door, or whatever the situation was. But me, I'm busy taking the UJ pictures out there on a nice car. I think it was a, a, a BMW something, that was parking on the hotel car park. So I don't even know what's happening, And this man is trying to touch this woman in there. And this woman tells him no. And then he says, this is the only experience I'm going to talk about on live. Any other thing I can't. I want to, but I can't for now. I can't. Any other time, I'll come back and I'll talk about everything. I promise you it will happen. But this one, that's the one I'm going to take, because this one marks the beginning of everything. And then he keep pushing, and forces his way in. So let me use the word violation. So he violates. To cover up what happened, he calls for my brother, Kadim. He says, can Kadim come? I want to pray for him. He pretend like he prayed for Kadim. The face of my fiance doesn't look the same. She looks emotional. She looks paranoid. She looks angry. And me, I'm thinking this girl is ungrateful, or maybe Papa is trying to tell her something to do with our marriage, that we need to do it quick, because he kept asking, when are you guys getting married? Like, actually sealing the deal. So I'm thinking, where am I? I even said these words. I said, you are a very ungrateful woman. I don't know what's your issue. I don't know who else has this kind of access. And then you're still looking angry. I don't know what you're angry about. You can't tell me. And I remember my fiance said to me, you don't listen to me. I said, what do you mean I don't listen to you? I listen to you. We talk about everything. And she broke. And this was our conversation privately when our friends were not there. This one. And I never shared. She said, I don't listen to her. Tomorrow, she didn't even want to go to church. What's surprising about that night, this man didn't call my brother's wife to pray for her. But he called my wife, my fiance, but he didn't, and called my brother, but didn't call my brother's wife. Even my brother's wife was confused, like, what's wrong with me? Like, how come he saw all of you and he can't even, like, is there anything wrong that I'm doing? That kind of thing, because he gave that impression. From that day, I had so many problems, because anytime I speak to my fiance, they seem to be, we look like we're moving backwards, you see, because it's like me, I'm excited about moving forward. She wants to pull out, you see. But she doesn't want to pull out because she loves me too, you understand? So, but again, there is no way Ashton is going to listen to this. Ashton will not listen because he loves that man. So it's impossible to convince me that that man was up to something. But what I want to say tonight is, from that day, this man started blackmailing her. He started blackmailing the girl. And he started putting me closer because at this moment, he needs to watch me now. And other things followed and followed and followed and followed because of those blackmails that I can't mention. But you guys, you get the idea of what I'm talking about. Okay? I'd love to share with you, but in the moment in time, I can't because of the direction I have chosen with this whole thing. But I told you specifically. And for the last 4.5 years, no matter how good we've been for each other, I mean, relationships, you find arguments, but not the ones where you can't repair anything. No, the arguments were there. I don't want to lie. Normal things like normal couples do, you understand. But she always told me, when you are ready to listen to me, there's something I want to say. And then if I be honest to people and not lie, I didn't know what it was, but I was scared to hear about it. I chose not to hear about it. I chose to shut my mind. I chose to shut my mind. Because at this point, even the girl is telling him, I need to tell Ashton. Because I feel bad. Because I heard you even preaching about going to hell. I think Ashton needs to know, no matter the consequences. He needs to know, no matter the consequences. And the men start talking about, do you remember the woman that tried to say something about me and then she died? This and this and that. Do you want to fight me? You don't respect rank, this and this. My son will not believe you, and this and this. And everyone is going to hate you because they will not believe you. They will think you want to destroy the ministry, respect the spiritual side. All these other things that he began to say. At the same time, he's coming to me, getting closer to me, and the girl can see that he's getting closer to me. I can spend time with him. Long time with him in his office, and the girl's like, wait, hold on. I'm not going to talk about the other experiences. No, I'm not. For now, I can't because I might make a mistake. I might make a big mistake ever. So I'm not going to mention. Let's leave it for now. But I'm going to mention one thing. The man is getting closer. Is getting closer to me. He continues with what he's doing. And at some point, a person gets to a point of just giving up. But I noticed one thing. We were given assignments to do for him, for the church. And I did execute the things I was told. Things like when he told me to write articles about Pastor Chris being Illuminati, this and this and this. And these are things which were disturbing. We were in a position in our relationship where we can't talk about Papa in private, me and my wife. But we can talk about anything else. Like she has the liberty. We can talk about anything else. It's like even now we can talk about that guy. Now we can talk about that guy. And this whole experience is in detail. We can talk about it now. It's okay. But back in the time, it wasn't there. We were not talking about that guy. So it gave him room to keep doing what he was doing. Guys, imagine I had my first child, my firstborn, who was 2 years old now. And even when my firstborn was in the womb, this man was still trying to pursue my wife. Because at this point, he wants to make sure that he hold her and make her feel guilty. He wants her to feel very bad to a point where it's going to be difficult for her to come out and say, you see, this is what you don't understand. Why so many women can't come and tell their husbands? Why so many women can't come and tell the world? Is because the way this is done, the way it is done, even when you want to tell the world, you feel stupid. You feel like you are crazy. My firstborn son came. At a very difficult time, because he was born a premature baby. And I had no experience whatsoever of how do you handle a situation like that. I was emotional about everything. And now that I look back at it, is it because the girl was stressed? Because I could tell the difference in confidence. But you see, how do you, if you were you, how do you approach it? I had so many disadvantages at the time, even if I had found out there, if we were able to speak about it, there was nothing much that would have done about it. And these are the disadvantages. The men had studied A, B, C, D. They won't be able to do this because of this. He did. And I can't talk of them now. But the time is coming. I managed to pull out. And my girl told me one day, she said, one day she was crying, and I don't know why, she said to me, how come we can't talk like we used to before? And I remember I answered, I said, what are we talking about? He said, no, I just want you to listen. But I said, I listen to a lot of things. Anything else, we listen. If I said to you, I don't know what it was about she wanted to hint, I felt like she wanted to talk about the church, that we shouldn't go there. And I didn't want to hear those words from her, even though I didn't know what reason could it be. Because every Sunday when we're getting ready, I mean, myself on a weekend, on Saturday, I'm doing my dry cleaner. You know, if my suits are in the dry cleaner, I'm there ready to collect them. I'm doing my facials on weekends. You know, I just like doing things like that to keep me up on weekends. Or we are out, you know, doing something, you know, preparing for church. My girl didn't look to have the same energy with what I put in for church. Do you see? If I say to her, oh, do you want to order something online or whatever or do you want to go into the shops and buy whatever you like? Sometimes she says, nah, I don't want to buy. What I have is already enough. something has changed. But then I said, oh, maybe it's because we have a child now. Is probably different how a woman feels. In hormones, you just have to be there. So after my son is about 6 months, this man start pursuing my wife again. This is now 2000 and my son was born 2018 December. He was supposed to be born 2019 February or end of January or first week of February. So if it was just a few days short. We pulled through. 2019 June, July, August. At that time, we were focused on, we had several businesses that we were focusing on, including the line that we released, which the idea of the natural Botox creams and what. He's the one that called me to the office because I was trying to produce a 24 karat gold drink. Okay, so it's like a champagne with a 24 karat gold drink from Spain. I was trying to produce a drink, with about 5 flavors. Champagne without alcohol for Christians. That's what I was trying to achieve. And then he said to me, no, you can't have a drink because I already have a drink, but you can build something else. Have you thought of technology? Is something to do technology products. He said, call it bee technology. Make a product made of bee venom. He didn't say much. He just said that. So, and the day he said it, I was actually sitting with a guy called Nelson in church when he called me to the office to go and tell me that instruction. I remember I didn't know anything to do with that. So I had to gather my team and my wife, and we started doing our research and stuff like that because I'm surrounded by people who know cosmetics and perfumery stuff and things like that. So I said, yeah, we're going to create a company that focuses, Nelson said even he remembers, we're going to create a company that focuses on those products. So instead of just bringing the bee technology beauty, which was the signature brand, then I'm going to bring something else to do with the snake venom. So I'm going to make products with snake venom and other stuff as well. So I managed to release 3 brands at the same time, which were launched in 2019 October. If you remember on the Business Expo, we were there. We were like, our business was one of the main attraction there, if not the main attraction. Let me just say one of, because now they can argue, but then they were not arguing. So we launched that as our first physical business, like, with physical products, a beauty company, which later on produced perfumes, which he doesn't even know about, and perfumes actually in the pipeline. Okay, niche perfumes in the pipeline. Things are going good at this point. I'm being praised. But then he called the girl to the office at this time and he told her that you have to let me continue doing what I was doing because this is why you guys are successful. Ashton knows about it. You don't have to be emotional about it, what. And we have to know that everything that happened in the past, we forget about it. The girl said, no, I don't feel okay. I'm going to tell Ashton. Somehow I will find the strength to tell him. He got angry. He told her, get out of the office. She got out of the office. One pastor who was in the band, not a pastor to the church, but that pastor, I host a show with him now. He came to me, he said, young brother, why do you allow your wife to go through what she's going through? And I said, what are you talking about? He said, we see things. Your wife is always crying. It disturbed me. Then I was thinking, how do I approach it? We went home and I just started trying to sit with her sometimes, not talk about that, and just watch, like, what has changed. You could see, anytime I put that guy on the TV, she sleeps. Anytime I say, the guy is praying, let us pray, she's off. She goes out of the room, she starts getting busy. Then I started saying, God, I regret, because at this point, my ministry, I burned it, I consumed it. No one remembers me as the minister anymore. I'm just pastor by name. I'm not doing anything that actually makes me feel like I'm a pastor. (2019) October. In November, the man calls me to his office. The girl is now giving him wahala. Now he wants to demonstrate to the girl that he can even harass me if he thinks that I'm in the safe place. The pastors just started coming from nowhere. Oh, men of God, people are complaining about you. Who is complaining about me? Oh, many people, we are waiting for third parties. Okay, if when you are ready with whoever's complaining about me, please bring them. Not one day they would come back with anyone. I went with the man, I said, I don't know if I'm being emotional or what, but you know very well that all these years that I've been with you, I've never asked you for money, number one. Number two, I have never complained to you even about my personal things. Even my wife, she never complains to anybody. The most quiet person you can find, in the person who doesn't interact, those who knows her, doesn't interact with people at all. That's it. She keep a distance. So I say, you know what? I don't know if I'm being emotional. He says, son, you're too soft. You call me, I'm too soft. And I'm thinking, but if I have to be mafia to your pastors, in my head, I'm thinking, then these guys might actually have something to say about me. Now they can say, oh, he's been fighting us. You see what I'm saying? And then I was like, you know what? I'll chill. I'll relax. And then he said to me, how is business going? And I was emotional at the moment. I don't even think I responded properly. I just said to him, yeah, business is going good. He was like, oh, I want you to do A, B, C, D for your PR, for the PR, right? And then I was like, yeah, I'll do that. And he said, also try to do this, and that, and that. And then I said, yeah, I'll do that. He said, good. Have you spoken to Banks? I was like, no, I haven't. He said, oh, okay. Talk to him. I said, oh, no, fine. I left the office. When I'm leaving the office, two young protocol guys are standing at the toilet harassing my brother. And then they throw us in the toilet, I'm like, yo, guys, what's going on? Oh, you don't know the fact that is happening in this church. You don't know the fact that is happening in this church. I say, wait, hold on. The last time I checked, we're in the leadership. So if there is anything that is happening that we need to know, I'll be told. By the way, I'm just coming from the man himself. If there was anything, he would have told me. No, we're just waiting for you guys to provoke us and then we'll beat you up. I saw my brother was reacting fast. You see, me, I pause immediately. I think immediately. I didn't say my brother doesn't think. No, in the you know, like if you were yourself in that moment, right, you would have actually reacted the same way he reacted. So I saw he was up to like defending himself, you know, and then I say, no, Kadi, wait. These guys, this is a plan. I feel it. It's a plan. You know what? Don't do anything. Let them say whatever they're saying. They say whatever they're saying. Kadimo was still talking. I said, Kadi, wait. I said, guys, can I record you saying the things you're saying? You know? The guy was like, I don't give a fuck. You can just record whatever. Record. I said, okay, I'm recording you. She said, yeah, record. I don't give a fuck, man. I don't give a fuck. Then I said, all right. You know what? You guys are good guys. Trust me. I know you're not doing this by yourself. Someone is behind this, but we'll get to the bottom of it. But I thank you. And I turned to the other guy because the other guy is an MMA fighter. I was just after sponsoring his fight. You see what I'm saying? I said to him, but you are the same guy I sponsored money just last week. I don't know how you're turning. Not to say I gave you money so you can be on my side for anything, because there was nothing there for you to be on my side. But I'm surprised you talk to me in such a manner. It's like, oh, you think I care about money? I don't give a fuck. And I honestly said, please, you know my account number, right? He said, yeah. I said, yeah, you can transfer my money back. He said, I'll do it. I said, no, do it now, brother. Do it like now. And I hope he didn't give me the money that was meant to be for rent. You know, give me my money. I said, thank you, brother. Thank you. In the meantime, where these guys are doing this, these big protocol guys also are running in the toilet, like just like checking around. So I got the impression that these two were supposed to come and start a fight, all right? And then if we fight back, the big guys will come and they will harass us in the name of, oh, maybe we are breaking a fight. We are stopping a fight, right? But the truth is they were working in unit. Guys. So when that happened, I saw the men going to the pulpit, moving like this, going to the pulpit, straight to the pulpit. When you go to the pulpit, what did he say? Oh, don't treat anyone bad because you don't know the person you treated bad, who they are. Some of them, they hold opportunities for you. He is now saying something against to what has been happening in the toilet. The guy is smart, trust me. The most sneaky person I know is Hubert Angel. He said the opposite. I didn't even have strength even to text him to say, hey, look, do you know the moment I spoke to you, I went to the toilet and these guys, they pushed me in the toilet and this happened. I said, no, I'm not, forget it. But I told these elders though, and I sent it to the CEO of the ministry. I said, hey, look, you are the same person who were telling me that, oh, Ashton, be strong. People will just hate you for no reason. What, you've been through these same things. But these guys are saying you send them. They said you send them. She said, no. Let me put Pastor Ricky on the phone. I don't like this. Why do people want to drag me into this? Ricky declined the phone call. I said, you guys, you know what? Sister Queen invited me for the Queen the singer. She invited me for the show Gospel Matters. Gospel Matters, what. And I went there and I just say some things in parables on that show. I didn't say anything. And I remember they shut down the show. They take it off on Facebook. And I think the reaction was, or maybe Ashton is out. Now he knows what's going on. I didn't go to church that November, okay? I showed up in church December crossover. 2019 December. We were told, oh, there is no chairs in inside the auditorium because you came late, so you guys have to go to the overflow. But I saw some other buggers getting in there, and someone came to me and said, man of God, you can't be sitting upstairs. You have to come in, I have a chair for you. And then that's how I found my way. When Uber Angel saw me after the service, it was like, oh, my son, come, give me a hug. Oh, my son, how are you doing? You look good, man. You look good. It's on camera. So there is a narrative being built here that Hubert Angel loves me so much, he wouldn't do that for me. But then his pastors are acting at the opposite. So it will look like me and the pastors have beef, and then he doesn't know anything to do with the beef. It's just about how jealous we are about each other. But him is a man that loves me because he spends time with me. He does things for me that he doesn't do for anyone else. Look at the business world, I'm flourishing. You see, and on another hand, the pressure being applied by the pastors is so that I leave the church and then I'll look like I'm a very ungrateful person after what Hubert Angel's done for me. And when you sit down, when you start putting the pieces together, it starts making sense. We got to 2020 January. I skipped 2 weeks from going to church. 2020 February. All right. The same nonsense is up. March, the church get closed because of COVID-19. So that's 2020 March. You see, at that time I was focusing on going to gym, doing business. I didn't want to look into too much. You understand? April 2020, Hubert Angel contacts me. Oh, do you know any married women? What? Huh? Do I know any married women? In London? No, I don't know any married women. What about Ireland? No. Also, what is it you can do for me? I have not thought of anything that I can do for you. But remember, there are things I'm living in between because of time, guys. This man talked to me. He used to speak to me a lot. You understand? A lot. He would even come and start a conversation like, oh, I'm so tired of what's happening around me. And I'd be like, don't worry. We are here for you. I didn't know the man is monitoring if I'm yet told anything because he doesn't trust anybody. That's one thing I know. (2020) April is now aiming at my friend's wife. Again, I'll not talk about that because it's not anything personal. 2020 May, he calls me. He said, oh, you see this Passion Java guy, he just like me when he's in trouble, when he realizes he messed up. I'm like, oh, why is he calling me about Passion Java? Oh, you see this Simbach Kanza guy from Zim-I is gay. I'm like, hey. Anyway, maybe this is just him feeling free with me, like always. May, I watched Prophet Makandiwa. Came across Prophet Makandiwa's video, and someone asked a question on a question and answer time about, I think the person said they feel like their spiritual father is way too involved with their house, what. I remember Prophet Makandiwa was answering saying, no, even if I have spiritual sons and they bring their own members and go say something to do with those members, I will not speak to the member direct, but I'll speak to my son. So he described a certain scenario to just cut this long story short. And I don't know why that moment stick to my... And when I was listening to it, it was on loudspeaker, yes. And my wife went to the kitchen. I was not living in the same house I'm living. I was living in a certain house, you know. So it's like if you go to the kitchen, if you are in the kitchen in that house, you wouldn't hear anyone in the sitting room. And if someone is upstairs, definitely you can't even hear you know. So she went to the back of the garden and she was doing barbecue there. I was like, but I'm listening to this. I thought maybe she would join me. No, she left. So I listened to it. And then I saw Jay Israel talk. But the thing Jay Israel was saying is because some of the things we notice them with our own eyes. You understand? But we would just dismiss them, we'll put them aside and what were. And I said, you know what? June, I started getting stressed out with the whole situation that I was seeing at church. And I was saying to myself, I don't think I'll go back to that church. For some reasons, I don't feel at liberty. I feel like my life is more in danger than... But again, the man of God is calling me. Is there something wrong with me? Because he's calling me almost every single day. At some point, he put money in my account that was going to someone, written as a refund, and it disturbed me. Why was that money written as refund, even though it was going to someone? Already I have trouble with these pastors. So now, if anyone sees the money, whoever's dealing with the account see a money written refund, they are going to think Ashton has asked for refund. So end of June, July actually, I think third week, I called my brother and his wife. I said, please, I need you at my house as soon as you can. They came. There's some events I left out because of the long. We need to go somewhere, guys. We need to go somewhere. Give me a few minutes and we'll be there. And I said, guys, I don't feel okay. Something is not right. But I wasn't specific. I just spoke in parables because I wanted to figure out if it was just me. I was confused. I said, I love this man, but how come that I feel this way? And I stopped watching him at that moment as well. Do you know, we left it there. I had a trip to Dubai in that July. When I went for that trip, on my second week in Dubai, or third week, I received a phone call from my brother's wife. And that's where she opened up to me about what this man has been. But my brother took it upon himself to let Kimberly speak freely to me because he knew that I didn't have the courage to even go and confront that. And Kimberly, honestly, she said those things. And even before I left for Dubai, she said, Ashton, when are we going to talk? Because there are things that I need to say to you. I've been wanting to say these things, but I think now it's good we can talk. I said, no, when I come back from my trip, I think it's better because, yeah, I kept running away from it. You see, as stupid as it sounds, that's exactly what was happening. I think my brother noticed that because one of the days he was at my house here, when that kind of conversation came up, I think he noticed it. So they put me on a three-way call. That's when I heard everything on the phone. And trust me, I fell backwards. I was sitting on a chair in my hotel room and I fell backwards. I wanted to take my life. But I thought, wait, my wife is pregnant. Oh, this is not good. Because I'm not mad at my wife for one reason, because she's the one that was consistent with wanting to tell me. She's the one that had been consistent with wanting to reveal these things. I was the stupid asshole that kept indirectly protecting someone, even though without knowing I was doing that. When my brother approached LP about the story, LP rang me. Oh, but this is before I was told about mine. No, mine happened after this event I'm talking about. Oh, please, please, give him 25,000, give him 25,000, give him 25,000, give him 25,000. I said, what are you talking about? Oh, don't ask questions. Let's talk later. Okay. But I told him, I said, Prophet, I'm not happy. Even myself, I'm not happy with some of these things. But as for you, we'll talk later. And that is the week you guys did a program called the Record Breakers Week. If you remember, well, You Bet Angel didn't come to the TV. He didn't come on TV the last 3 days of the Record Breakers Week. Ask him why didn't he show up, because he was trying to silence me. He was trying to bribe me from speaking. He said to me, oh, there is a lady that I want you to meet. Her name start with D or D. And D is Bushiri's lawyer or whatever in Dubai. Okay, it's like, oh, this is a lady that made your brother rich. Your brother in Pretoria rich. I'm like, what does this have to do with money? You betrayed me. And my heart actually was aching physical. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. You know, that kind of pain that even if I remember it today, my heart responds. That is the kind of pain that I feel. And I have all those chats. I have them. Because you thought I was not recording. Because I know how you like. And then you started threatening my brother. Oh, you know, many people are in prison and then some are graves because of me. And you, even in me confronting you, you say, okay, I'm sorry. I've been saying sorry. I know my sorry is not enough. What do you want me to do? Dude, it's not about saying sorry to me. You wronged me, but you violated someone. You see, two things. You wronged me. I can say, yes, sorry, it's okay. It's okay, I forgive you. But the person you violated may decide not to forgive you. Because you went too far. A person says no. I don't take no for an answer. I don't care. Make it work. No, I'm not washed. Listen, no, I can't do it. No, make it work. You want me to meet D at a moment where I'm emotional? I've been to Dubai before many times, right? You knew I was there for business. I'm always there for business. You never said, oh, do you want any link? What. I have my people there, you see. If I need anything done, and high profile people too. One thing I managed to do was always to hide who is behind my business and who I do business with, because I was beginning to sense some fishy things from your team. I got saved with a woman from Christ Embassy in that hotel who happened to be the manager. Oh, Mr. Ashton, please, Mr. Ashton, I'm sorry we are not allowed to say this in this hotel, but Trust me, you. I've been praying. God has been telling me there's a young man you need to pray for. You're going to see him. You're going to see him. She told me, the lady. She's the one that gave me strength. There is so much ahead of you. There are people that are ahead of you that you need to help with your ministry. And then that's when I came out on Facebook, you know, I said, I just put a post. I think some of you remember the post I put about, mine is a story of a father that eats the son's dinner and tells the son that the father needs it more than you, the son. And the son asks, so when is my turn to eat? And the father will reply and say, let's fix the end coming to the middle. And that was the words of LP, of Hubert Angel. He told me that let's fix the end coming to the beginning. And he said, let's have closure and then we'll come to healing. Immediately he's asking for closure. One thing I need you to understand is that I didn't accuse Hubert Angel of anything. I said to Hubert Angel, this is an option I gave him. I said, tell me this is not true. And I'll let you go. And you know what? We will never talk about this anymore. But from this day, I'll know what a liar looks like. And Hubert Angel said, no, son, no, let's talk. Let's fix it. We can't leave this hanging. The next thing, his brother was there. Oh, ngati taure tisiri panzara. What it means is, let's speak when we are not hungry. An insult to me to say that let's talk when we are not hungry. What he's trying to say is that let's give you a little something and then we'll talk. And he said, we can't talk on the phone. When you come, we'll explain to you what this is all about. And then the man says to me, the system could have failed, but we don't have to fail. We don't have to expose our father to the courts. I said, what do you mean to the courts? He said, oh, no, I don't mean the courts. I mean to public opinion. The system could have failed. Guys, just tell me if you're following. Okay. Okay. And he said, oh, you can fly back from Dubai and don't go home straight. Come to where I am, hotels and everything on me. Lee Angel, honestly, do you really think Ashton cannot pay for his hotels? You guys, I don't think you know me well. You guys, you don't know me well. Trust me. That's one thing I just noticed about you. You actually don't. And the fact that you tell me, oh, Lee Angel said to me, oh, you are still posting on Facebook. I thought we are agreeing here. Agreeing about what? He said, oh, are you still, do you want to fix this or is there something else you are looking for? Now, again, this is a sort of blackmail that I'm getting here. They reached out to Queen and the husband. They say, can you talk to Ashton for us? Yeah, this. Listen, those people were not taking any side. They were worried about me. So when I arrived at the airport in London Heathrow, do you know this affected me so much that one time I was sitting in a meeting set up with one of my friends called Muhammad in Dubai. And this was one of the most important meetings that I ever had in my life. And I sat there and these people kept talking and I blanked out. That the lady I was talking to, she said, you know what, Ashton, I see something is not okay. And Muhammad was like, yeah, something happened, anyway. Let's just finish dinner. Let's just have dinner and we'll do it another time. Because I was so hurt. I left. When I came to London Heathrow, Maynard was there. Why was Maynard there? Maynard is not, I know some people are going to say, but Maynard is this and that. No, let me tell you. Maynard was there because I personally asked him to be there. Myself, I'm the one who said, no, he can be there. Because him, I looked at him as a brother. And I wanted, because I know he listens. You did never spend time with him. When you spend time with him, you understand what kind of a person he is. He never said to me before, don't go live and bash you, but Angel, never anything. The guy was like just there listening. They're listening, because if he would try to say anything like that, trust me, people was in my house before here and I was mentally ill. You get me? I took a glass stool right in that corner. I almost threw it in another corner because I didn't want to hear anyone talk shit about nothing. Don't tell me to calm down. Angel was on the phone on the other hand there. And I was like, what the fuck do you think this is all about? At one point, he even called me while he's sitting next to Bibi. Oh, Ashton, the problem with Ashton is emotional. Even if we reach a deal, this and this, tomorrow is like this. And then you bring Blessing Manyara with an account with 70,000 that belong to the church. Oh, by the way, this is the church you say only made £100 last year. 70,000 that belong to the church. I say, Ashton, let's discuss. You know me, I'm all about business. I told Blessing, get the fuck out of here. Do you think this is business, you asshole? Oh, we'll make you, there is also another issue. You are called by God, so the big man was thinking you can be appointed, a pastor for the youth. You better enjoy himself like, oh, son, this time around you'll be close to me. Let's focus on the spiritual side. Fuck you. All these guys, Leon Duprez, all these guys that you know from South Africa, they know me because they saw me on the Uama retreat, which was one of the incidents where you forced yourself, you motherfucker. And you think I should chill because you are the board of who? The board of Christ. Board what? What are you talking about? You think at this point I don't care whatever blackmail that... Listen, even if you even had anything on me, this is a different case. This is a different case, this one. As a result of your nonsense, there was a sexual infection, STI, that we had to deal with. What are you talking about? You talk about, this is business. Blessing Manyara, oh, you're my brother. I'm thinking, oh, I can book you a holiday. Blessing Manyara, I can afford holidays. I can. You guys, you came with these apartment brochures with your what, or choose your apartments here. Choose your apartments here. We can actually go back to Dubai right now. We can go back to Dubai. Why are you willing to give me an apartment? Why? Some of you Africans here watching, I know you, big bastards. You would have taken anything that comes with this. If you see people who take 2,000 pounds and to sell any other person, you would have taken it. So you created all these. Listen, let me tell you one thing. Everything that you did, you were just walking in your own traps, and you were giving me more evidence. You were admitting yourself in every direction you were moving ahead. I'm cool because, you see, I actually know even this big Titus, this boy that has his penis walking around on internet there. All right? You were one of the accomplices taking my wife to your fucking father. And you think I'm scared of a fucking lawsuit? Are you kidding me, motherfucker? Trust me, I see you, I'll choke you myself. I don't give a fuck about no lawsuit. Do whatever you like. Trust me. That's where you will see a motherfucker who doesn't think, because how do you go and sue someone you did something to like this? And Bevan, of all people, I thought you were the most decent person. I let you get close to my family. And I had to deal with your fucking aftermath, okay? I had to push shit together by myself. I ended up having a woman going through C-section for the first time. I don't even know how do you even handle all this myself. I'm a broken man. In my pain, this girl is somebody's child. You understand me? This is somebody else's child at the same time. And I am my mother's child as well. How does my mom feel? Lee Angel, the only lucky thing about him is that he was never in any of this. I've never seen him close to it. Somehow he escaped. The same thing with the white boy. But everyone else, and I'm looking for that Botswana guy, Matt. I'm looking for you, young man. If you are seeing this, trust me, I will find you. I will find you. And I will make a good example of you, what you will never be a coward like that. I'll find you. I'm patient. I'll find you. I'll find you. My wife is in church, busy. She's there in church. Guess what? You mad and these fucking pricks, protocol guys, you are the ones taking my child from me and you want to hold. Fuck you, motherfucker. I actually never want your fucking dirty hands to be on my child. You think I give a fuck about what you think? What Christianity are you talking about, you motherfuckers? You don't know nothing about Christianity. Because you have no love inside of you. Bushiri, you called me last week and you talk about, oh, you are here as my brother. Tell your father to stop fucking people's women and violating them. Violation is the word. I'm here as your brother. Thank you. If you are there as my brother, then put yourself, if this had happened to Mary, how do you feel? You think I care about what you people think? If you look at me, you really think I'm that guy. Guys, at this point, you can threaten all you want, do what you like. I don't care. You have done the worst thing. The only thing that I prayed against in my life, you have fulfilled it. Think I care. You carry Bibles and what? Even to a point, because I had blonde hair, you start saying, oh, this guy is this guy is that. So what? Why does that have to do with what you have done? Answer accordingly to these accusations. A whole prophet will talk about rapture. Listen, the reason why I want to take you to court, and I'm taking you to court, is because I want to show the world that you are a liar. I want the world to see you lying. You're a liar. All these programs you've been lining up, you've done it so that you can cover this mess. I cannot be silenced. Trust me, I have everything at my disposal to make this story go worldwide. It was actually because of the maniac person, a guy, that I was like, some of these things, because I'll end up touching places that I'm not supposed to be touching. But fuck it. It is what it is. You think right now getting close to Bushiri is the thing that will get me closure in my heart? You fucking crazy. I would even ask the judge himself, if yourself you were in this situation, what would you do? What is the least thing you can do? Is it going on social media or take a gun and shoot the motherfucker in his head because you're out of your senses? Ed Branson, you call me like, oh, me too, I'm going through the same thing, but, just forgive, just forgive. Ed Branson, you're a piece of shit. I can't believe you even allow your wife to go away so that you can stick with that motherfucker. Who else didn't call me? Passion Java called me and actually told me what happened to his first wife. Same thing. So when you guys see me, I'm sitting here like, what is the evidence? You're a big motherfucking fool, because no one has ever called your phone. You're just a piece of shit no one even considered. Look at your life. I have gone to private events. I have sat with politicians in Britain here, private, in their houses. Status is not something that shake me. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not like your spiritual father. Anytime you find a small footballer, take a picture with them. We have sat with people with money too. So what? What is it? The greatest thing is life. And you wanted to take that from my kids. Who does pursue a woman when she's pregnant for nude pictures? You are why do you need them? Because I want to know that you will not say anything. You not say anything as if I'm agreeing with you. And all those screenshots she started sending me, she's showing me, look, right now he just texted me, oh, this is the bad way to look for money. Who told you she wants your fucking money? Are you not the person who send people, try to talk to her and say, oh, we want to talk to you, but make sure your husband is not there. Just tell us what you want. What you want? You motherfuckers, you face the law at its fullness. And as for me, even if you manage to create what to implicate me, that's okay. Please, I'm even happy to assist you. I'll be a sacrifice. As I mentioned in the beginning, you think I'm joking. I'm not. Oh, I'll build you a studio. I'll build you a studio. A studio for what? If you build me a studio, I'll talk about you in the same studio. You think I'm fucking desperate? Huh? You think I'm desperate, eh? Listen, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. Your own words. You say size is relevant, but power is absolute. I am absolute in my power. And my power is in my truth. You better enjoy this, you better enjoy this, you better enjoy this. Some girls who even called me when I was in Dubai. The CEO's sister, she called me, she said, you send her your fucking dick. You say, "Oh, you never seen a dick like this one. God is telling me that you're gonna carry my baby. What? The next thing you make it do this happy birthday message. Fuck you. Don't come here and talk about Christ. You nothing in you like Christ. For 4 years, you should have gotten to a point of thinking like, you know what, let me stop here. I'm not thinking straight. But because you are evil, that's how you fulfill your evil covenants. And I don't want to hear nobody to tell me how to speak. Trust me. You'll be making a mistake. You'll be making a mistake. I'm tired of people telling me bullshit. You understand? You know, I've been listening a lot of times. You know, God works in mysterious ways. Fuck you. This is one of the mysterious ways He's working through. Hard to pick this girl and make her believe, hey, look, you are still yourself, okay? You are still yourself. Never coerced her to do anything. She was there. You see, imagine as a man, I had to sit there and say, you know what? For us to truly go through this, I want to know if you were the one who was wrong, if you was, just say it. You see what I'm saying? Tell me. Tell me what happened. I heard detail by detail, and then he turned me over, and then he pushed me, or he did this, whatever, all right? Whatever how it was described, which I can't tell you. But whatever how it was said, I had to absorb those things. Do you know I was fucking crying rivers while listening to that? I'm like, fuck, that man is motherfucker. All I see is this animal, you see. What are you talking about? Savannah is not the girl that went missing for 3 days, and after 3 days she became a pastor. Who doesn't know you make pastors because you are... Isn't there even a guy called Derek? You messed up his wife, and then the next thing you make him a pastor, and they leave you still. You like so many women as if you know how to handle them. 1 minute you are tired. You asshole. Sue me my foot. Sue me. Take this video. You Berenjo, I'm talking about you. You people, you preserve bullshit in the name of Christianity. What the fuck are you talking about? You don't know shit. I know shit. I know the things that are happening that you people don't even know. And I'll never tell you because you're motherfuckers. All of you brainless people. So one day you're going to wake up and smell the coffee. You don't know shit. What shit do you know? You know nothing. We know things that are really happening, things that before they happen. That's why some of you just pick placards like this. You stand outside the court. I stand with this one. I stand with this one. Fuck you. You don't know what's happening. You see, when we are quiet like this, we are seeing you foolish like that. You know what? I'm out. Fuck you, you bet.